So Joe decided since he's not here, he's gonna send some fucking audio files. I get. I don't know. He didn't talk about this. He's not told us. He just sent a bunch of fucking not MP3s, MA4s or whatever. So weird fucking file. And he's just like, I guess we're supposed to play him on the air. Like we can't play him during the show. Like he knows that we can't do sound effects during the live broadcast. I don't know why he did that at all.
I would like to point out that we did ask for content last week, but I believed we said the least he could do was send us an email.
Yeah.
Something that we could actually use during the show, which he did send us, but then he added the M4As.
Yeah. Fucking Joe. Anyways. Hey there, Internet. I'm Eric.
I'm Ike.
And you're listening to Just Cool Enough, and it's okay if you get turned down for a date when she's like really cool about it, so you don't feel bad that she said no, even though she did say no. She unequivocally said no. Yeah. And this is Just Cool Enough, and we are doing a show without Joe again. We complained earlier. I don't know if I'll cut that shit on. He sent, I guess at some point we'll throw to the audio files he sent. He sent one. It's like a 9-minute story that didn't have to be 9 minutes. And then there's it's 5 minutes, which could have been definitely cut down significantly about some shitty person on his plane. Just way too much ums and yeah and just stuff that we didn't give a shit about. And then there's like a 2-minute one about bathrooms, and we'll throw those in the show at some point. I guess if you're listening to the YouTube version, I guess fuck you from Joe, because Joe doesn't give a shit about you. Because there's no way to add that shit in that I know of without complicated audio equipment that I don't have. I've got this thing, this USB microphone.
All you have to do is pipe it through your speakers, through the microphone, and hope that you don't get feedback.
I don't have speakers. I haven't had speakers for my computers in years because I use headphones.
Well, it's harder for people to hear you watching porn when you use headphones.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess technically I could feed it in. I could use my TV as a monitor and then feed it in through my TV and then turn it really loud on my TV but that's too much effort. They don't want it that bad. Trust me. If you're like, oh, I don't get to hear these, you can download the podcast at justcoolenough.com, but you're not missing out on anything. You're not like, oh man, I'm missing out on this. I'll give you the gist. There's a person on his plane that was a little inconsiderate, but whatever. She was hot, so he didn't mind. And then bathrooms are weird. I haven't listened to that one yet.
I did. I listened part of it. Bathrooms are better in Europe. There you go. Summed up as 2 stories in less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, we did it in like 10 seconds instead of 9.5 minutes. So, Jesus Christ. But luckily, Joe did also send an email. Did you star all these things he sent, or did he star?
Did. No, I starred them.
Because I just imagine him like he's sending a bunch of emails and then starring them to trick us into reading them.
Stuff to read. No, well, here's the one thing we can do for Joe on the internet on the show, and that's read his email, which is titled "Email for Eric and Ike." Hello, Internet. I'm sorry I'm still not able to make the show this week. I sent the 2 audio stories that I'm hoping Eric will play during the show, so both of you can comment on them.
Can't do that. We've never been able to do that. That's basically why I stopped doing the Have You Seen That shit and Zombie Watch, because I can't pipe that shit in. Like, we know that we've covered this. We've been doing this for like 3 years on YouTube.
Anyway, he says, I've been having a good time. Thanks for asking. I thought last week's episode was really entertaining, so keep up the good work. My favorite part was when you talked about D&D for the majority of the show.
That's all in caps, so I assume that's sarcasm.
No, he really enjoyed it. That's what that says. I really, some people kind of enjoy it, but all caps means he really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Okay. I have some questions, he says. I have a buddy of mine that is traveling around Europe right now, and his new iPhone 6 got stolen from him on an overnight train from Italy to France. Damn those Italians.
Fuck you, Joe. Why would you? How? God damn it, Joe.
Have you guys ever gotten anything stolen from you?
Have I mentioned? Sorry, I dropped some. Have I mentioned the 2 bikes I had stolen from me in less than a year?
I feel like there might have been something mentioned kind of in passing a long time ago, but
okay. This was when I right before 6th grade, I forget which birthday that was, I got a bike for Christmas or for my birthday. And it was like, I was really happy about this bike. It was a really nice bike. It had, it was, it was like a really nice mountain bike. But what it had a little digital readout thing. So it had like little magnet driven things on the wheel. So it had a speedometer, it could track mileage, it had a time, it had a little compass on it, like an actual, not a digital compass, a real compass. And I was like really happy with this bike, and it was fucking awesome. And I started 6th grade. It was a bit, I could walk, but it was a little far. So I would ride my bike to school. And then one fucking, like, I went so far as to get, like, at first I didn't want to lose the bike, so I got this really nice lock that had this little key card that used. It was stupid. It was a little key card that had like a picture of a monster on it to unlock the bike lock. But I fucking lost the key card once, and it was just annoying as shit. We had a spare, but I said fuck it, so I went back to one of those just old school, chain with combination things. Fucking, and almost like I don't know how soon after. It feels like just days after I switched over to that lock. Just I was walking and it was just fucking gone. Like the bike was gone. My helmet was still there, but the bike was gone, and it was just like, God damn it. So I just had to fucking walk home with my helmet, and it was shitty. And then I think I had an old. I don't know if I got a new bike or if there was just another bike that I already had that I started taking that. And this was like later that year, but it was still 6th grade. That bike was stolen too. And I'm like, God damn it, fucking shit. Like, and it's not like I just left it on the side of the road. There's like a little area. There's in the back of our middle school, there's this little cul-de-sac and stuff that's hard to get. Like, cars don't often drive there. And there was a little like small fence, like 3-foot high chain link fence where everyone kept their bikes. And it was like, fucking, why my bike? Why always my bike? What is it about? That wasn't even a good bike. The second one, the first one, yeah, it's a really awesome bike. The second one was just an okay bike. Like, it was just a fine bike. I don't get it. Fucking, but yeah, fucking, there's the 2 fucking bikes. And then like I was thinking, fucking, I don't want to get another bike because it'll get stolen. And then I was thinking, I was like, I don't know. This might have been 7th grade. I was like, in a couple of years, I'll be 16 and I'll be driving. So fucking maybe I'll just never get another bike. And I didn't until I was like 23. And that bike got stolen 3 years ago when we moved into this apartment building because we didn't have a balcony to keep it on, so we kept it in the garage. And I kept thinking we should lock it up, but our garage, blah, blah, blah. And some fucking dude stole it from the garage. I'm like, God damn, I never rid it. Like, I haven't ridden it since we moved to Los Angeles, but God damn it. It was a really nice bike too. It was one of those like beach bikes that had this really large seat. It like didn't have any gears. It was just a really comfortable bike. God damn it.
And now somebody else has a bike with a really comfortable seat.
Yeah, good for that guy. Good for that guy. We have security cameras in the garage and shit. So we saw our manager at the time was like, yeah, I've got video of it or whatever. I was like, what am I going to take that to the police? They won't give a shit.
Was it a masked man taking your bike? So
No, it was just a man. It was just a man who got into our garage somehow and took the bike. It wasn't locked up. We should. I was funny because I remember thinking because we bought a lock for the bike, and I thought like I should go down there and get it, but I'm fucking lazy. Like I should lock it. Who's gonna fucking steal it? Oh, somebody will fucking steal it. That's who.
Let's see. Things have been stolen from me. I was gonna say my innocence, but that's a story for another show. I had.
Oh, were you watching Kung Fu Hustle and then it happened?
Yeah, it happened. Anyway, let's see. I did my first semester as a resident assistant. I was like gung-ho about making door tags because we're supposed to make door tags every month for our residents to have their names on it. And then we're supposed to put some kind of decoration in the front hallway of the building that went along with the door tags. And the theme were cartoons. So I made these because I had 50-something residents, 53, 52. I had 50-something residents that I made cut paper. All of them were cut paper Ninja Turtles door tags. Every part of it was cut paper. The mouth, the little headband, the eyes, whatever. It took me forever to make these things. And then the thing that I made to put in the front lobby was in about a 7 or 8 foot giant cut paper full-size Ninja Turtle from head to toe that I made, and I was so proud of it, and somebody stole it out of the main lobby. I don't know who it was. I never saw it again. I was a little upset that I got stolen, but at the same time, I was a little like happy that I got stolen because I was like, oh, you know, somebody stole something that I made. Like, that's cool. I'm glad they appreciate it, but I would have appreciated more staying on the wall, or had somebody come and ask me, can I have it? I would have been like, yeah, when we're done with it, you can take it.
Yeah. I remember like when where the house I grew up in Antelope, we used to, I mean, my mom especially loved Halloween and loved decorating for Halloween. And we would buy, like every year, we'd buy more crap for our front lawn. And then like just one year, people just started stealing the shit we were putting in our front lawn. Like just little, like, just like, it wasn't like it was amazing Halloween decorating. It was just like the little like shitty plastic like gravestones that are, you know, like not even like
foamy, terrible.
No, it's the ones that are like made. They're like only 3-sided. Like this, the front and then the sides, and it's all like it's just some really shitty thin plastic, and it says like "boo" or whatever. And people were like stealing those and like shitty ghosts and stuff. And we're like, God damn it! Like, so then when we just had to start decorating inside and not outside. And we get to see it, but then no one else gets to, and it's like,
I don't buy my decorations so I can see them.
Yeah, it's like, what's the fucking point? So we just had to stop decorating outside, which sucked. We were the corner house on like just the main thoroughfare that entered in like our little section of suburbia. So it's understandable. Like it was very like we were like the gatekeepers to this section of suburbia. So obviously it's understandable why our house got targeted more than others probably. But yeah, it just sucks getting stuff stolen. I hope when he said a friend, he does mean a friend and not fucking him, because I know he just got that fucking phone.
That's why you have to Find My iPhone on that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I mean, my iPad, my iMac, or not iMac, a MacBook Pro. Yeah, my old school fucking green iMac or some shit. My phone has the Finder thing on it, version of it. You know, it's because fuck it. I mean, not again. If it does get stolen, you're fucked anyways. But it could help. It's more
So I'll just put this out there because this is one of those positive stories where it did work. Was one of my coworkers came to me. She had like an iPhone 4. She had upgraded since she was letting her son use her iPhone 4 as like an MP3 player. But she came up to me one day. She's like, I haven't been able to find this phone for a month. And I asked my son, he's not sure where it is. So we tore apart the house. I'm like, well, have you tried using the Find My iPhone thing? She's like, yeah, I know. I put it on there because you said that it's a good thing to have on there. But I'm pretty sure by now it's probably run out of batteries. So it's not like it would even activate. Well, I'm like, well, at least it'll give you like the last known whereabouts. Maybe that could at least help you out. And so another month goes by, and she comes up to me last week. She goes, hey, guess what? I found my phone. I was like, oh, where was it? She's like, it's the weirdest thing. She's like, so I activated the Find My iPhone thing, and we never found it. But I get a call from a number in Providence saying, hey, I found your phone. Please call me back. And so she called it back, and they said, yeah, could you describe to me what it looks like, whatever? Or no, I found something of yours. Please call me back. So she called it back. She said, well, I lost my phone. They figured out it was her phone. She asked the one, how did you get my phone? It was some weird, like random. She's like, oh, well, my friend's son got it at school off a trade from another kid. And so apparently it got stolen from my friend's son, and then some kid traded it for some kind of trade, and it ended up winding up in this woman's hands. And when she charged it, it came up with locking the phone and saying, this is so-and-so's phone. If you find this, please call the number. So it, in fact, did work, and it made it back to her.
It's nice. It's always nice when that shit happens.
So, because sometimes I've heard police using them to find them when they find a stash or whatever, but this is the first time I actually heard at work where some good Samaritan called up and said, hey, I found it because the message went off.
I saw an article once where it was like some guy got his MacBook stolen, and he had the not just the Finder, but a thing that would like just randomly take pictures with a webcam and send it to him. So he's got all these pictures of the guy who stole it and like just lying in bed using it and shit. So, but the email continues from Joe, the guy who sends audio files when he knows we can't play them.
Goes on to say, also, this is totally a hypothetical situation. When is the right time to tell your mom and dad that you're getting married or going to get married? Do you think marriage even matters anymore? I think it is an antiquated tradition that only the majority benefit less, and the only major benefit is less paperwork. It is especially less paperwork if you have the chance to move to a different country for over a year and you need a visa for a current girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in the institution. I believe in the ideas, but not the institution. I think it was invented by the church to control people's lives and then co-opted by the government to do the same. But again, I agree with the whole less paperwork because I was at my friend's board game night, and a friend of his who I'd never met before came by, and he just got married a couple of weeks ago to his longtime girlfriend from Canada. And it was funny. He was talking about how, because they've been trying for months to like get her a permanent work visa and get him a work visa, and like doing that because they've been together so long, they technically can file under common law and stuff like that. But as soon as they just went to Vegas and eloped, it just made it that much easier. It's still like a pain in the ass, but it's a less of a pain in the ass for them now that they are officially married to get the visas and stuff like that than it was beforehand. So I can understand certainly for that. I don't believe in it in the institution. I'm fine with committing myself to a person. I just why do I have to tell the government that I want to stay with somebody forever? Like, hey, government, I'm in love with someone. Is that okay? Yeah, or whatever. Or maybe they'll say no. You know, they say no to a lot of people. I mean, less these days, but there's still plenty of states that can say no to you.
Yeah, I really want to be this. Nope, sorry, we don't recognize it, so therefore it can't happen. But I love this part. Nope, sorry, no, you don't, because we said so.
Sorry, but it's gross. I don't like it. Well, you don't have to like it. It's my life. Yeah, but I want to have input in your life. What do you think? You've been together with your girlfriend for a fuck ton of years.
I believe in the ideas. I like what it stands for, but yeah, I don't necessarily. I mean, I know you got a tax break and there's a lot of incentives to get married, but the institution to me is outside the norms. And the fact that, I don't know, it's kind of weird these days, especially being the age I am, that a lot of my friends are like, oh, you guys have been together for 6 years and you still aren't married. It's like, what is it? What is, kind of like you were saying before, like, what is it to these other people, whether or not I'm married? And what difference does that make?
Because they're married and their lives are boring and they have nothing else.
And so they want to make mine equally as miserable. Yeah. Because that's the only part I don't understand. It's like, yeah, I'm not in a rush, and don't judge me because your life sucks.
But there's a sort of a shorthand with marriage that you don't get through any other thing. Even though you and your girlfriend have been together longer than most marriages last, it's still like it doesn't, like there's a permanence to the word husband or wife or married that you don't get through anything else. If like one of you is in a car accident and you go, that's my girlfriend, they're like, nah. But if you say, that's my husband or wife, then they're like, this way, it's, when you're filing your taxes or when you want to buy a house, you're buying a car together, whatever. It's easy. Like when me and my girlfriend are buying a car, they're like, yeah, but me and my wife are buying a car. But yeah, it's our society is built around marriage. It makes it kind of hard to not get married to somebody. It gives an extra step to so many of things that are standard life things that you have to do.
And I don't know, from being with the person that I'm with for 6 years, not to say that I don't want to get married at some point, but I like the idea. And I agree with you that it's the idea of permanence that you're not going to get when the commitment to each other that you don't necessarily get when you're just like, oh, he's my boyfriend or my girlfriend. But at the same time, like when you're talking about like the longevity of the permanence, it's weird because one of my really, really close friends was like, we'll use the word dating. He was practically living with her. They were practically married for like 8 to 9 years. They were together. They lived in the same apartment. They did everything together, short of actually having a kid. At the 9th year, they decided to get married. 1 year later, they got divorced and broke up when she cheated on him with his best friend. So it's weird. I wonder if they had never gotten married, if it would have continued to not degrade like that.
No, I imagine it would. I mean, having no idea who these people are or any of the stories, my first initial impression is they were like, things are slowing down for us and we're starting not to like each other. Let's get married and hope that solves it.
That's a fair point. Fair point.
Because I don't see it. If you've been together that long and you are basically married in every other way besides the paperwork, I don't think that signing the paperwork is what caused their breakup.
But then I find it weird though with that logic that it was, I wonder, a patch for them, like or two people in general. Like if you know things aren't going well, it seems like it would have to take a fast turn over a year in order for things to turn around. So maybe it was a hope for a Band-Aid that didn't fix a broken leg.
I mean, having no idea who these people are or anything, that's just my first guess, but it seems about right.
Joe ends his email with, make sure you tell all the people to email the show at theshow@justcoolenough.com like he did. And he said, fuck you, Joe. But I'm gonna put an apostrophe rather than a dash because he wrote fuck you dash Joe, but I think it should just be fuck you, Joe.
Yeah. I was wondering why Sarah asked me if I really am an ordained minister, which I am with the Universal Life Church.
So you're flying out to Michigan, they're going to get married, and then he's going to tell his parents?
I don't know. She just was like, hey, are you really an ordained minister? I was like, yep, with the Universal Life Church. That's all.
That's because she wants an outside wedding, and they don't really do that in the Christian realm.
Yeah, and the Universal Life Church, you could literally register in 5 minutes, and it's free. That's why I did it. Because it's absolutely meaningless.
Because why not?
Yeah, why not? Fucking it was free, and I you don't even have to, like, you just fill out a question thing and email it to them, and they're like, you're accepted. Like, I don't know if they don't accept people. Like, I didn't lie or anything. I didn't go, I love Jesus. I was just like, no, I'm not religious. And I think that was about. I was like, here's my name, here's my age, here's my birthday, and I'm not religious. And they're like, you're accepted.
I don't just like to play clerics in D&D. I'm also one in real life.
Yeah, you better watch out. I'll marry you guys right now. It has no legal standing, but in the eyes of God, maybe, who I don't believe in. I don't know. I don't know what the Universal Life Church believes, if they're a flying spaghetti monster kind of people or what. I didn't do any research into the tenets of their beliefs.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
We also got an email from OMFG Blondie. He writes to us that, hey, boys, last week we got a shit ton, which is a metric system of measurement, of trailers with Star Wars The Force Awakens, Star Wars Battlefront, and Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Hype levels going through the roof. Joe stopped doing the show. He pretty much has. Stop not doing this. No, Joe should stop doing the show.
Yeah.
Eric stopped bringing up D&D all the time. Ike stopped being a fanboy. Blondie, P.S. I'm well aware that this will make Eric bring up D&D more.
Nah, because if there's one thing I love more than D&D, it's fucking Star Wars. Oh my God. Speaking of Star Wars, God, that Batman versus Superman trailer was shit.
I don't know. I have high hopes for that Ben Affleck Batman.
I mean, I have no problem. Like, he might make a good. Honestly, just about anyone makes a good Batman because you only see this much of them, so it's fine. Whatever.
Like this gruff voice and this much of your mouth is showing. Your
playing Batman is mostly the suit. Like, it's just if the suit is good and the stunt work is fine, and it's. Batman's not a crazy. It's being a good Bruce Wayne's different. I think that's a little harder to accomplish. But I just was like, they didn't show any. It's like it was so. I mean, granted, the movie's like a year and a half out or some shit. So they like. I don't even know if they finished filming all of it. Like, they're probably going to do reshoots or whatever, like they always do with these big movies. But they didn't show anything. They just showed. A statue of Superman, and they slowly pan up, and then somebody drew graffiti on it, and then they showed Superman has a bunch of like SS Nazi soldiers with like his logo on them for something, and then they show Ben Affleck looking all angry, and then they show him climbing out of some fire. I don't know if that's like a crashed bat wing or something, and then it's him in full like Dark Knight Returns like robot suit when they're about to fight. And like, I think there's a comedian, Hal Rudnick, who said, he's like, hey, all they showed is like, oh my God, you mean Batman and Superman are going to be in Batman v Superman? And there's going to be animosity between Batman and Superman? Thank you for showing that to me. Like, that's all they showed. It's like, hey, this movie called Batman versus Superman has Batman and Superman in it, and they're going to be
versus each other.
Yeah, and they're going to be versus each other in some way.
Oh, but let's not forget I kind of wandered around all week going, do you bleed? I mean, that was the catch line, I think, to the entire trailer was Batman asking Superman if he bleeds.
Yeah. I mean, if they take The Dark Knight Returns and do that fight, I am so fucking sold, because that is so. I mean, I love the comic. I loved when they redid it. They last year or so they did an animated version of it with Michael Ironside doing the voice of Batman, and it was fucking great. It just ended like that last passage where it's like where Batman's I want you to know that of all the people in the world, I beat you. I want you to remember this feeling with my hand on your throat. It's so good. But I don't know. Like, I really want it to be good. I don't have I didn't like Man of Steel that much, which isn't saying much because nobody did. And I felt like they decided, hey, instead of a sequel to Man of Steel, let's throw Batman at it so maybe people like it. And that's not enough. They're throwing also all of the Justice League at that. It was like, this is going to set up the Justice League. And by that, I mean, this is going to be a Justice League movie, because we're throwing Wonder Woman and Aquaman and maybe The Flash and just all of the Justice League. And Jesus Christ, they were just so insecure about that first movie. And I don't know. This trailer showed me absolutely nothing that convinces me that this isn't just another sad attempt of them catching up at Marvel. I hope I'm wrong, because I want movies to be good. I love Batman. I want a great Batman. I want more great Batman.
I'm not a big fan of Batman myself.
Yeah. I love Batman. I love Batman so much. But there's I don't know, there was nothing about it that really made me go, I want to see this movie. I was like, oh, God damn it. There's nothing about this that's interesting. So that's how I feel. I don't know about any of our listeners. They can feel free to email us at the show at justcoolenough.com if they beg to differ, if they think that it's going to be awesome, if this trailer really amped them up. I mean, but it didn't show me anything that I didn't already see in the leaked Comic-Con footage from last year. So,
or that wasn't already explained in the title of the movie.
Yeah. So, but Force Awakens, such a good teaser trailer. It was exactly enough. It was exactly everything you want from a teaser trailer. It showed you some really awesome scenes, but you didn't get a chance to you don't know what the fuck's going on, but you're okay with that. You see the characters. They threw they've got Luke Skywalker's voiceover, and it's all nostalgia inducing. And then fucking Han. It was funny. I will explain that the trailer came out, and I watched it once, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm probably have to watch it again in a few minutes just to say. But then a friend of mine was like, hey, I was supposed to shoot something for film school and it fell through, and we're just sitting here with our dicks in our hands. Do you have a sketch we can just shoot real quick? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, what about that Star Wars one? Because I wrote a Star Wars one. And he was like, I was like, yeah, sure, we'd totally do it. So we go over there and we're shooting it. And part of the sketch, we decide that it opens with us watching the teaser trailer. So I watched it 15 times that day, and I was like, oh my God, I love this trailer. It was I didn't have it. I was busy. But I was like, I just watched it over and over, and then I went home and watched it a bunch of times. It's so good.
So what you're saying is you have the whole thing memorized at this point?
Pretty much. It did exactly what I wanted it to. And J.J. Abrams, he's a master of this kind of shit, of holding back information and slowly leaking it out, and then doing trailers. The guy knows how to present a movie. I mean,
I forgot its name, but I was super pumped to see that they made a real working version of it. The little droid that
BB-8.
Yes, BB-8. And I was like, when I saw the trailer first time, and it was all done in CGI, I was like, that's pretty cool. I was like, yeah, it's too bad that they couldn't make a new one. And then they showed the real one. I mean, I was like,
no, that's the thing. It's not CGI. That every shot of BB-8 apparently
is the real thing.
It's an entirely practical effect. They decided they didn't want to have a cute CGI character. He was very adamant that he wanted a completely practical effect. So everything about BB-88 or BB-8 is practical, apparently. I mean, there might be touch-ups. I don't know. I can't, But from what they said, it's entirely practical. And they had it running at Star Wars Celebration. They had it running around stage. Yeah, and they explained how it's all done. I saw a thing on some website about the mechanics involved. I was like, yeah, that seems like a thing. I'm not an engineer, so I don't know. They could be lying to me, but
I feel like magnets are involved to keep its head in place.
Yeah, it's got 2 magnets on the head, but it's also the body is independent. Like it's got
it's like a soccer ball for a body that's independent of the headpiece, right?
Well, it's got a whole mechanism inside with wheels that turns the body, but keeps with weights and counterbalances that keeps the main body unit stable, and then 2 magnets hold the thing, so it keeps so they can move the head, all that shit, apparently but it all works and it looks really awesome. It's a cute character, and just all this stuff like fucking Harrison Ford, like it coming out of the end saying we're home. I don't even think like that's one of those lines I'm almost convinced is not even in the movie. That just shot that because specifically for the trailer, just him saying we're home. It probably in the movie is like, Chewie, get this started, blah, and none of that stuff. But I don't fucking care. I'm so fucking on board with that movie.
Well, I was talking to one of my coworkers. He said because he has 2 daughters, one's like 3 and one's 4 or whatever, or one's 6. I don't know. Anyway, they're pretty young, and he's sitting there watching a trailer with them, and like Chewie and Han come on, and he watched it a second time. He's like practically broke down into tears, and his older of the 2 daughters was like, "Oh my god, it's so cool." And his younger daughter's like 3. It's like I don't understand. I don't understand why you're so pumped up or upset about seeing Chewie, this big hairy dog thing. He's like, no, but it's Chewie. Like that's my childhood in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing I noticed this week, which wasn't brought up in this particular one, aside from Battlefront, was another trailer came out for the next Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, did it? I didn't watch it yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Saw today. It's fairly interesting. I mean, I feel like they're trying to kind of go back with like the X-Men type dealy with the origin stories.
Well, the idea of this whole reboot is not just to keep the movie franchise from going back to Marvel like all their other shit, but they are trying to integrate the Fantastic Four into the same continuity as the X-Men, and that's why they did the X-Men for last movie with the X-Men to like change up the continuity, because everyone's trying to play catch up with Marvel. They're trying to do they're trying to do universal continuity between their films and not have independent films as the independent heroes that don't ever relate. They want it because they know people I fucking love that every Marvel movie takes place in the universe, all of the fucking TV shows, fucking Daredevil, the first episode, they don't specifically talk about aliens attacking New York, but they call it the attack or the incident, and that's the whole plot of the first episode, is that there's this construction company that was like key in rebuilding New York after the Avengers, and they were embezzling money or some shit, and Daredevil has to punch dudes or whatever, but it's all one continuous continuity, which I love, and they're trying to do that with Fantastic Four. Will fit into the continuity of this new, slightly rebooted X-Men, which they're recasting a lot of the people in it, except Hugh Jackman, because who the fuck else are you going to have to play Wolverine? And that's all, what they're doing.
I like the idea of these continuities. It's interesting to see how they are pieced together, because, again, without spoiling, I just finished watching all the Daredevil stuff, so without spoiling, it is interesting to hear them bring up here and there the little Easter eggs where it's like, oh, it's you're not some dude with an iron suit or a magic hammer, and later on they refer to another one of them.
Yeah, and I like what's great about Daredevil is there's like 3 or 4 references to outside things, but besides that, it's an entirely self-contained show. And if you didn't know it was like part of the Marvel continuity, you would think he was just referencing Iron Man and Thor, the characters, not the actual living people in this world that they're building. Because it's completely self-contained. They don't ever really like Spider-Man doesn't show up and help Daredevil at one point. Though that that would be amazing. I would love that.
Well, they just announced yesterday that Daredevil's getting a season 2. The thing's only been out for 11 days, and they already announced a season 2. They're taking over some new writers from like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but aside from that, it should be the same cast.
Yeah, apparently the showrunner has like contractual commitments, so he can't do the second season. But the 2 guys, I guess 2 of the guys that were like the main writers and helped him with the show in the first season, are now taking over for him. So. which is awesome. I thought I mean, it was a really good show. You know,
I feel that Netflix spoils me though, because they're like, oh, here's the whole season's worth of stuff. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna binge watch the whole thing in 3 days, and then like I finished it this morning. I was like, oh,
and you gotta wait
like,
a year.
More of them.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's how I felt like House of Cards. Like I watch it. Oh, great! I can't wait till next year, and then I watch the second season. Oh wait, I can't wait till next year. I can't wait till the next season.
Mean, I totally could do like I'm gonna do one every week for 13 weeks, but that's impossible.
Yeah, because they're right there, and it makes it so easy. They're like, hey, want to play another one? You're like, well, I could not wear pants for a little longer.
On the sad front of things, with this kind of email with superheroes, unfortunately, what I did hear this week was a moment of silence for Donatello from the Ninja Turtles. He was killed.
Huh?
He was killed in the comics officially.
What?
Reddit, Krang was trying to take over the world, to turn everyone into aliens. So while 3 of the Ninja Turtles went off to go fight it with Splinter, Donatello stayed behind to keep the fort locked down, and Shredder found out about it. So Shredder sent Bebop and Rocksteady in, and they pretty much beat him to death, and another character came in and broke his shell with a sledgehammer. And when all the turtles showed back up, Donatello was lifeless and dead on the floor.
Oh, is this in the comics?
Yeah, the comics.
Well, according to Wikipedia, a sneak preview for issue number 45 suggests Donatello wasn't dead, but is in an extreme critical condition and not going well. But if Donatello's dead, then who's going to does machines? Somebody has to does machines.
Even if Donatello, let's say, is dead, some people are like, well, how many issues till they figure out how to rectify that and bring him back? Because nobody ever stays dead. They're just the franchise is trying to keep up with all of these other franchises where people are dying and then coming back.
Yeah, in the 90s, Superman ruined death in comic books. So now death is an entirely meaningless thing that only lasts several issues. But, I mean, I guess, like, it'd be awesome if he comes back. He's wearing black now, has a mullet, and he's like, hey, sorry, I don't does machines anymore.
And I guess, then they could totally make a whole new set of action figures and make more money off the franchise. I think you're onto something.
Yeah, I'm a cynical bastard, and I know how this shit works now.
So, one last thing, because he said Eric stopped bringing up D&D all the time. He didn't say I couldn't bring up D&D.
We didn't talk about Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, that's true.
I
never played the second one. I played the first one.
I had the first one for like the original Xbox. I only played the second one like last year because it was like $5 and a bunch of people on the internet were like, let's all play. And I was like, this is interesting. But I love DICE and their Battlefield games. I'm a big fan of them, of the Battlefield series and what DICE has done with them. So and I like the first one a lot. I like the second one, but I only played it after the fact, so it was kind of dated. So I'm looking forward to it, and the trailer looks really interesting. It's all in-game ish, it's not like it's not technically gameplay, but it's like, I imagine that's kind of what the game will look like and stuff. But I'm excited to see what it is. But then I also I was watching this thing from Jim Sterling talking about how that trailer made him realize he's a cynical old man, because he's like, how are they going to fucking carve this all up in DLC and make like a super awesome collector's edition digital version and like a pay to win, free to play elements and all that shit it's gonna be in there because it's EA. It's gonna fucking suck, but it's gonna be like $25 for 3 maps and all that horse shit.
So wait to get it is what you're saying, rather than the collector's pre-order edition.
Yeah, well, because there'll be the digital first edition and shit like that, and the digital premium plus edition that's $20 more, and then there's going to be the season pass, and then there's going to be all that shit, and then if you pre-order, you get fucking green stormtroopers or some shit, But I'm excited. If it plays like Battlefield but with Star Wars, I'm on board. I'm on board with it.
But that's kind of how Battlefront played the original one, which
it was the same. It just like from playing Battlefront 2 and then going back to like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, it's like, yeah, this is good-ish, but the guns don't like first-person shooters have taken a big step forward since then. So I would really see. So hopefully they will be like it'll be really good, and I'm sure it will be pretty good because DICE knows what they're doing with video games.
Well, and then to the D&D part of things, I decided this week, and it's also going to be my plug. So whatever. I decided to go and try to get a loot box this week or last week because April's box was fantasy was the theme, and so I was going to hold off and wait, but I realized that my box won't get in until the 28th of this month, and a lot of people have already gotten their boxes. So I tried my best for 3 days not to look up online what people unboxed, and I went and looked it up on YouTube anyway. So one of the cool things that I can't wait for D&D related is this giant, it's a red shirt with a giant D&D logo in black on it with the and symbol and the dragon. Some guy lifted it out of the box on one of the unboxings. He's like, I don't know. I think it has something to do with Game of Thrones because you can see the dragon and some kind of symbol. I'm like, it's the and symbol and it's a dragon.
Yeah. I think it's the House Greyjoy. No, what? It's definitely Baratheon. It's Baratheon. It's the night is dark and full of terrors.
And dragons. Yes. That's the terrors. And then it also comes with a neck. What am I thinking of? A bow tie that has a dragon on it with some D20s on it too. So I'm looking forward to the loot box or the loot crate when it comes in next week.
No, I think these were if you know Varys is they call him the spider, and he has 20 spiders in the books that he keeps in jars where his testicles used to be. So that's what this is representing, Varys the spider.
So I'm excited for that. So there's the D&D things.
Awesome.
And he said, he's aware that you probably bring up D&D, and you didn't. I did.
No, because I didn't have anything to talk about really, because I had to leave early and play. I will say, my friend Kyle, I go to board game night twice a month at my friend Kyle's house, who's been on the show, and he got. I remember the last game night. He ordered Sheriff of Nottingham, which is a game I've been really looking forward to playing. And it was like,
really quickly, was that your Facebook feed? There's somebody who posted that the other day, looking forward to game night, and I had a picture of the Sheriff game on it. And I was wondering if that came from your feed.
It was because he used it as the. Let me tell the story. The game night, like a couple of weeks ago, it was like supposed to arrive, but because of his credit card shit, like it was going to arrive the day after game night. I was like, fuck. So like Monday, I was like, okay, like fucking don't play it before I get there. Okay, I really want to play this. And he was like, we might have too many people because it's like a 5-person game. I was like, fuck you, Kyle. Don't play it till I get there. So and it was D&D, so I had to leave. So I had to leave like later than I would and show up. I showed up about an hour and a half into game night, which is fine. We go for several hours till midnight, so it wasn't a big deal. But I get there and they're all playing a game, and there was like 6 of us. And I was like, fuck. And then, there's like 7 of us. And I was like, fuck, well, I'll never get to play. And then we played this game. It was fun. And then like one person had to leave. And I was like, can we play this? And he was like, well, there's 6 of us. And one person's like, I don't want to play that. So we're like, we got it. So we take the time, we get it out of the box. We set it up. I take a picture of it and I Instagram it. I was like, I've been waiting so long to play this game. And then I sneeze on air.
So... There's an etiquette question for you, because it's always I've had this problem like parties when you're out with a group of people. If you have 6 or more people in a get together, mm-hmm. and you have a game that only can really play 5, and you have a few people who don't want to do it, so you can make the 5 quota. Do you play the game because the majority want to play the game, or should you find another game that everyone can play together?
I mean, it depends. I mean, I didn't care at that point because I really wanted to play. But we get like, it depends. Like sometimes people sit out, and some games are like Sheriff of Nottingham's fun to watch. It's fun to watch your friends play. I can understand why some people might not be into it. It can be stressful. But we set it up. We get it out of the box. I Instagram it. I was like, I'm so ready to play this, which is what Kyle ended up using because he uses my Instagram pictures for the images for the game night events. So like I clicked that yes, I'm going to the next one, and he used it. So that's why you'll see it on the
But that's why your Instagram is mostly shit, because the parts that aren't are the ones that he uses from game night.
Well, it's funny because like I take the picture and I'm like ready to go. We're about ready to set up and stuff. Fucking his friend from who's with his Canadian wife shows up, and then like we're like, fuck, well maybe we can get in the game. And the guy's like telling a story about shit, and I was like, fuck. And then we're just like, God damn it, we're not gonna play this. And he's like, yeah, I don't think we're gonna play it. I was like, fuck. So I put it away and we played other things. So we got it all out, set it all up, took an Instagram of it, and then didn't fucking play it. So hopefully the next one, because I'll be there earlier than normal, so we'll probably have time to actually
Does that
play.
mean you're gonna leave D&D earlier?
No, because the next one's on a Saturday.
Oh.
We do one on a Saturday and then one on a Monday. So I assume the next time I should be able to get it. I was like, oh fuck, I really want to play this game, and I didn't get to.
Now, what is the gist of said game?
Well, Sheriff of Nottingham is. The idea is that you are all like merchants in like sort of a Robin Hood type thing, and you are trying to get goods through a checkpoint through the Sheriff of Nottingham, which is every person takes turns being the sheriff. And the idea is you put your goods in this little pouch, and then you will say like, I have 3 cheeses in here, or I have 2 chickens, or 5 breads, or whatever. And you can have those items, or you can also try and slip contraband in, because that gets you more gold if you slip the contraband through. And the sheriff has to decide whether or not he wants to let your goods pass or inspect them. If he inspects them and you have any contraband, you owe the sheriff money. If he inspects them and you don't, then he owes you money for the items that are in there. So it's this whole thing of like this guessing game and like this bluffing game where it's like, do I want to, like, if I open this and there's no contraband, I'm going to owe him some money. But you can even like, it's well within the rules of the game to be like, I have 3 cheeses in here, but here's 2 gold just so you won't look. Like, you can bribe, you know. He's like, or you can be like I'm the sheriff this round. I will let anything pass if you give me 5 gold. You know. Just anything. You can put.
It sounds slightly reminiscent of the card game bullshit, where you try to put some cards down and say, you know, these are like four 7s, and whether or not the person wants to call you on it or not. But in this case, you can bribe them to choose not to look.
Yeah, or you can even bribe them. You'd be like, I only have 2 cheeses, but I will pay you 5 gold pieces if you look at Kyle's, because fuck Kyle. Because that's basically the unsung rule of game night is fuck Kyle. Kyle, like.
Now, if you pay him not to look at yours, could he still choose to screw you over and look at yours, even though you paid him off for?
No, because if he opens it, then you don't give him the money. You know.
Fair enough.
Yeah. He can't just steal from you, but.
Well, I didn't know if you would, like, you know, I've seen those movies like, yeah, I'll take your $10 and then I'll fuck you over anyway.
No, I mean, if you did that, then you can probably just say, hey, give me those fucking back. Like, just be like, dude, stop being an asshole. Give me my fucking money back. You looked at my shit. But it seems like a really fun game. I wouldn't know because I never fucking played it. I've watched it on YouTube a shitload of times.
And Longs just imagined yourself playing it.
Oh, why not me? Someday. So it'd be fun. But yeah, no, we didn't get a chance to fucking play that shit, which is unfortunate. But we have, I mean, we did get to play some new stuff. So, you know. I like games. I like board games. They're fun.
I'm still waiting for it's in beta still. They're finishing it up though. It's closed. It's the Exploding Kittens.
Yeah,
that won't come until like June, July-ish.
Those bastards. Anyways, this is a perfect time for anyone listening to the audio version. If you want to hear those fucking stories from Joe, here I'll put them in now. If not, skip ahead almost exactly 10 minutes. Take it away, Joe. Oh, weren't those totally worth the wait?
I really like the bathroom one.
Yeah. Fucking shit. He didn't even ask, hey, can we do this? Like, I can understand if he forgot we can't do that. But he didn't even, like, go, hey, is this possible? If it is, can you do this?
Maybe if we went back, like, 3 years and we were only doing the podcast version.
Yeah, if we were doing the Skype-only version that wasn't live, then yes. But yeah, unfortunately, we can't just throw him live, so that sucks. But I hope Joe didn't get his shit stolen, or if he did, he gets it back. Also, I don't know why, but some dude named Brent emailed us this week, which you guys can email at the show at justcoolenough.com. It's just a drawing of a. It's like.
Did you wait for it to load? Because I'm pretty sure I got a computer virus. No, I'm just kidding, but it does move.
It's just. Oh, does it? Oh, I didn't know.
No, you have to wait for it to load for a while, and then there's some interesting.
Oh, I just thought it was like a drawing of a lady in like a tank top and a bikini shorts and wings for some reason. Oh, there it is. Now it's loading, and a penis just came into frame.
Yep.
And then now she's not wearing a top, and she's staring at the penis with a kind of slight smile. Now the penis is adjacent to her mouth, but she looks like she's not sure if she wants the penis. Now she's totally into the penis. She definitely, at this point, she's in complete control of her. And now she has ejaculate on her face and exposed breasts.
Like you do.
Yeah. So no message involved with this, Brent.
Well, so I'm pretty sure it was delivering a virus of some kind.
Yeah.
By that I meant like some kind of STD. Yeah.
Not sure what the point of that. I mean, thank you for sending us animated pornography. I mean, we appreciate anything that we get sent in the. We can't really read that out on air though, so that's just my one concern. And we certainly can't show it to anybody. So I mean, we could like that. If Joe had sent like an animated GIF, we could screen share that. But this, we definitely can't. I'm aware of the terms of service of YouTube and Google, and I know definitely we cannot. All that happened, we could not show. Now, if that was you that drew it, congratulations, you're good at drawing, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that was your drawing or if you just thought we wanted an animated pornography gift of a lady with bat wings, but thanks. I'm not sure if that's a character for something. I don't know that. It wasn't Rouge the Bat, which is the only other bat character I know from Sonic. I don't know if that was an original character of yours or somebody else's, but thanks. And anyways, speaking of thanks. Thanks for listening to the show, but let's stop talking all this horseshit and start plugging each other. I don't have anything, so I guess I'll just plug my Twitter. It's actually no, I'll plug the various social media accounts for my new improv team, Streets. You can check us out on Facebook. That's facebook.com/streetparkingnerdist. Or you can go to streets_improv is our Twitter. And we might have an Instagram as well. We got all. If you go to the Facebook, you probably find all that stuff. Yeah, we got. We're doing it. We're getting shit done. We're pretty. It's a lot of really awesome people. I'm really happy to be in this group of people. So you can check it out. I actually. It's weird. Like I became unofficial graphic designer, which was terrifying because I'm not a graphic designer, but. The shit I designed came out pretty well. I made us a little logo, and I made us a poster, and I was really happy with
I've seen your Tiger Explosion stuff. It's pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's all 3D modeling and stuff. This was different. This was graphic design and Photoshop. I didn't know what I was doing, but it came out pretty well. So you can all check out that. That's facebook.com/streetparkingnerdist.
And I'm going to plug this week. It's my Loot Crate, because I've been looking at them, been wanting them. They look cool, and if you are interested in checking it out, there is a link that we'll probably post in the comments. But also, if you happen to be watching, you can find a link of it over here near my name. For the people that are listening, it's looted.by, so looted.by/CKBUI. You check that out, because a little bit when you go there, if you're like, oh yeah, I'd like to try it out, subscribe for a month or whatever. A little portion of that goes to me, so it's another way of showing me that you appreciate what we do here without having to actually give us money. Just me, kind of. You don't really even have to give it to me. It just helps out.
Yep. It's always helpful to have money. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. You can always check me out on Twitter. I'm at Duncor, DUNCOR.
And you can reach me by emailing me at theshow@justcoolenough.com. It's theshow@justcoolenough.com.
There you can. Or Ike at justcoolenough.com, though I don't know if you
I don't remember the password.
Yeah. I keep telling you to redirect that shit. But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. And until next week, have a wonderful week. And fucking the Avengers is like 7 days away. Jesus Christ.
I can't wait.
Bye-bye. I'm so excited. Like I knew it was May 1st, but then I was like checking Facebook and there was like an ad and it was like the Avengers 10 days away. I was like, holy fuck, it is?
Yeah. And then you're like, oh wow, it's almost May.